Hello and welcome to the live training on unconditional love. And I've worn my jumper especially, choose love every day. So today we're going to be talking about how you can go from heartbreak to heartmake, how you can turn all of those periods of heartbreak, whether in business or personal love, and turn them around to make them into making and creating bigger and better things and choosing unconditional love. So I feel like I'm slightly not on the right level for you guys, so I'm gonna kneel down and do this. Oh, that feels better. Okay, so I've been focused on unconditional love and what it means to us, how we can learn and grow and evolve from this, because I truly believe that when we come into this world that we are born just pure love. There isn't anything negative about us, and it's the stuff we take on board, and we choose to take on board all of those little bits and those lessons and repeated lessons. We choose to take them on board and create the life that we are in right now. We have created that. We can't blame anybody else for our mistakes and misdemeanors. We have chosen that path. So with choosing the path of unconditional love and deciding to relearn, remember that lesson as to why we came onto this planet, we all have lessons to learn, and all of the challenges that kind of get thrown up in our lives are those lessons. And have you ever noticed that you can get like repeated lessons? The same thing keeps on happening in your life. You have, I don't know, either the same negative kind of relationships, they always end in the same way, they always start in the same way, and it's basically, it's the universe saying, you've got to learn this lesson. You still haven't learned it. Step back and breathe. So what we're going to be talking about is how this can help you in your life and how this can help you in your business. Because when you are giving from a place of unconditional love and receiving unconditional love, this also includes money, clients, not just the relationships that you are in. So we're going to go through a few questions today, and they're questions that I asked myself, and just I got to step back, breathe and ask these questions. So I'll be going through those, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my life, my history, and how I've used various different techniques to, getting into this unconditional love, this place of unconditional love. And it also brings freedom. It brings freedom to you because you're not judging others, you're not judging yourself, you are just loving, pure, unconditional love. So I'm sure, like yourself, I've gone through many heartbreak situations. The disappointment, the grief, where you physically feel your heart is broken. I literally turned grey in 24 hours after the last heartbreak, which I can now smile and laugh about. But yeah, when you love somebody or something so much and it doesn't work out the way you want it to, the way you need it to, then that's when you feel that agonizing pain, where you feel like your heart has broken. You turn grey. You get wrinkles and they're not the smiley happy ones. And that disappointment and grief seeps through all of your life and all of your relationships. So it's really important for us entrepreneurs to look at how we communicate with the world, how we love the world, how we try and control the world that we are in, and we will go through those and trusting that instinct that you've got inside of you, trusting that instinct. So that's what we're going to go through today. I've been in that place where just crying yourself to sleep, crying in the car. That's probably my favourite place to cry, actually, in the car with some sad tunes on. But all of these repeated lessons or repeated challenges in our lives are lessons that are calling out to us to be learnt and re-remembered, and for us to really step back, look at the situation. What can we learn from this? How can we grow from this? How can we be grateful for this? And from there, we're able to flow forwards into a much bigger, better space, because you have more awareness of yourself, you have more awareness of other people and the world you're in. And for an entrepreneur, you know, that's how your business grows as well, by stepping back, looking at the situation. What lessons do I need to learn? What are the challenges that are coming up? And how can I grow and flow forwards with this and gain a better understanding of my clients, a better understanding of the way I want my business to be, and you flow into that. So when we have our dreams, and especially if we're going with Valentine's Day, so when we have our dreams with a partner, and we're, you know, you can visualize it and you can see your future together, and it's going to be wonderful, and you're going to be skipping through fields holding hands together, and it's just going to be like a movie, and nothing's going to go wrong, and everything's going to be wonderful. And then some challenges come up, and the relationship becomes unbalanced, because we are so domesticated as people, all of us are so domesticated in control and things having to look a certain way, that our lives no longer flow freely, easily and effortlessly. So I read a wonderful book this week which totally links in with this, of course, and it's called The Mastery of Self. So it's all about looking at where you've come from. So we've come onto this planet to live a life of struggle, of hardship, of learning lessons. No, we've come onto this planet to have fun, to be happy and to love. But what happens is we come on, we're little babies, all we do is, you know, love, eat, poop and sleep. That is our lovely little snuggly lives, and it's wonderful. And slowly as we're growing up, our parents, due to no fault of their own, it's their own domestication from their parents and their parents and their parents, right? But I catch myself doing this as well. Eat up all your dinner like a good girl. So subtly, we are starting to domesticate our children just as we were domesticated. All of these conditions that we put on being good or being bad equals love, no love. So I'm giving you conditional love. If you eat your dinner like a good girl, I'm going to love you. If you don't eat your dinner, you're a bad girl, and I probably love you a little bit less, right? So all of these subtle things as a child we pick up on, and we don't notice it. We don't kind of, outwardly think our parents don't love us, but it's like training a dog. You might tap it on the nose. You might tell it off. It's the same. It's the conditional love and the unconditional love. So when they're nice to us, we love them. When we're not, we might shout at them or put them outside in the garden, lock the door, that kind of thing. So when we're looking at the way we've been brought up, the way we're bringing our children up, the way we're training our animals as well, the dogs, the cats, etc., it's conditions and control that we're putting on. So how do we get out of that cycle? Because, like I say, it does seep into your business as well. When you're doing perhaps a free event to try and get clients, to put yourself out there, what are the controls that and the limitations that you're putting on, maybe on that free taster session, on that free workshop? Feel into it. If you are doing it from a place of love, then it shouldn't matter if anybody signs up to your event, program, one-to-one, whatever it is. But when we're doing things out of conditional love, those are, there's some of the conditions, right? That, right, I'm going to do this free thing because I want 5 people to sign up. Right, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z because I want these 5 people to sign up. Instead of, I want to help as many people as possible, and I want to give them as much information so that they can walk away from my free taster session, my whatever, and walk away with that knowledge that they get to help themselves in their own time, absolutely for free. And if anyone decides to work with me after that free thing, I'm really happy and I'm really grateful. So you can see the difference between the controlled love and the unconditional love. So let me see where I'm at. Yes, we have been domesticated for so long. It is quite tricky to get out of that condition on yourself and those conditions on other people. So if you've got a pen and paper, fantastic. I'm going to ask you a couple of things. And the first, we're going to look at how we love ourselves conditionally. Now, have you ever, if you want to jot some of this down, go for it. Otherwise, just flow and speak out loud if you can. And I can't see any comments, but if you've got any comments, just pop them down underneath this and I will try and answer as I go. Or if you're doing it after the live feed, I will try and pop in and answer them afterwards. So where do you put conditions on yourself? Do you look in the mirror and think, I am beautiful? Or do you look in the mirror and think, I wish my thighs were thinner. Oh, I've got really fat hips. Oh God, I don't like my boobs, etc., etc. They are all conditions to loving yourself. And love comes from within. We have to love ourselves first and foremost before anybody else. Even when you're a parent, you have to keep yourself happy and healthy. Otherwise, you're not going to be a happy and healthy parent, right? And although we've been taught that kids come first, in my opinion, you come first. You come first before your business. You come first before your children. You come first before your partner. You come first before your family. Why? Because if you are not happy, if you're not as healthy as you desire to be, you can be, then how can you help and love other people as much as possible, right? Because the conditions you're putting on yourself, you're putting on other people as well. So it always gets to start with us first. And as my top says, choose love. So I choose love, and I choose to love myself first and foremost. And I choose to do that unconditionally. So write down all of the things that you can think of that are conditional to your love, your loving yourself. So when you look in the mirror, what do you see? And a really good, I would kind of pause me now. A really good thing to do is to look in a mirror and like literally just look in your eyes. Just look in your eyes and say, I love you, and see what comes up in your head. It does take some time and some practice for some of the negative chitter chatter to quieten. But the more you do it, the easier it gets. And the more you look yourself in the eye and tell yourself that you love yourself unconditionally, the easier it gets. And the more you actually do love yourself unconditionally. So here are my 7 steps to unconditional love. Number 1 is forgive yourself. Forgive yourself, because you are carrying around burdens that are unnecessary, and you can forgive yourself. Everything can change in an instant, in a second. Love, the weather, anything. And forgiveness is one of those, to release forgiveness. If you need to write yourself a letter, forgiving yourself for anything you feel you have not done right. Because do you know what? Everything we do to the best of our abilities at the time given. So, thank you. So, if by forgiving yourself, you're allowing yourself to move forward. And that goes with clients. Perhaps you feel like you didn't serve somebody as well as you could have, and it's still playing over and over and over in your mind. Well, you did the best you could at that situation at that given time. Let's grow from it, and we'll talk about that next. So forgiveness, number 1, forgiveness of yourself. Now, number 2, love yourself. Do that mirror work, look in the mirror and love yourself. Say to yourself, I love you. When I'm in the shower now, I will wash myself and I'll say, thank you, arms. I love you, arms. Thank you for being strong. Thank you for being able to cuddle people. And I'll wash my legs. Thank you, legs. Thank you for taking me on so many wonderful walks and journeys. And my feet, and I'll go through the whole of my body as I am washing myself, and I will repeat, I love you, thank you for doing this, I'm really grateful for that. So they're just a couple of things. Brilliant, thank you, Tiana, wicked. Okay, so number 3 is forgive those in the past. Forgive the other people that you feel have hurt you and have wronged you. because holding on to that hate, that guilt, that shame does you no good, and it also does them no good. So forgiveness of those in the past who you feel have wronged you. And trust me, this can be hard. 20 years ago, I was in an abusive relationship, and I still have to practice forgiveness techniques for that man and that relationship. And every time it gets lighter and I release more, and I am grateful for that situation because it gave me an insight into what a lot of women stay with, and it gave me an insight on helping other women to release negative and limiting beliefs about themselves. It helped me to empower myself, and it helped me to start to raise my self-belief and self-worth. It didn't happen overnight, but it happened step by step. So my number 3 is forgive those in your past. Number 4, allow yourself to receive love. I'll repeat that again. Allow yourself to receive love. So receiving love. I notice so many times when women are given compliments, oh, that's a really nice dress, they don't say thank you most of the time. They say, oh, I got it in the sale, it was only a £5, or yeah, it's just that slight put down. Oh, really? I thought it looked kind of fat. Oh, no, ladies and gents, if you're doing it, I mainly hear women saying this though. Say thank you. Even if you think it up here, stumm. Just say thank you and accept the compliment and accept the love. Without us being open to receiving love, we're blocking so many other things. We're blocking wonderful relationships. And I'm not just talking like the one relationships. I'm talking about your family, your friends, your business clients, networking, everything. By blocking love, you're blocking so much more. You're blocking money as well. And that's a different topic. I could go on for another hour on the money thing, but so allow yourself to start receiving love. Focus on compliments first. I find that's the easiest way to start, and just say thank you. Thank you very much. Accept it. Now, number 5 is start to look at life and love with fresh eyes. So kind of go hang out with a child. Seriously, go hang out with kids, because they're like, wow, look at that tree. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. It's so green. Oh, look at this. And it's just, they are amazed and in wonder at life still. And that's what would be really good for us adults to get into that vibe again. And looking at life with fresh eyes brings looking at love with fresh eyes. Just because you've done something a certain way for so long does not mean to say that it doesn't have to change. So when we do the forgiveness of ourselves, the love of ourselves, the forgiveness of others, and allowing us to receive love, we can then start to look at life and love with fresh eyes and invite whatever we want into our lives. Whatever we want, we can create. Number 6, be grateful for all your experiences. Be grateful for all your experiences. So that goes back, I'll bring up the story again, 20 years. And it's only the last 2 years that I've been able to look at that relationship and see what it's given me and be grateful for it. And I'm still working on some of those aspects of being grateful for it. But another thing I'm really grateful for is that it cemented my friendship with my best friend, Jo. And she was there for me. She didn't judge me. She didn't judge me for staying. She just was there and loved me and tried to help me. And I am so grateful for that. We've been friends since 11 years old, and we're now going to be 40 this year. So it is a massive friendship. And back 20 years ago, that incident and that period of, over that year of her being by my side, helping me, listening to me, not judging me, I am truly, truly grateful for. So when you really look into those situations and those challenges in your lives, what are the lessons that the universe is bringing up for you? What do you need to learn from it, and where can you be grateful? So that's my number 6. Be grateful for all of your experiences. And number 7, reach out to someone every day and tell them you love them. Now, it just doesn't need to be the I love you words, but show them in some way, shape or form that they are respected and they are loved. Now, you can do this to the bus driver. You can do this to the person at the checkout by being respectful, open, and showing them care and attention. Where we do one thing, or how we do one thing, is how we do all things, remember. So on this wonderful day of Valentine's Day, I would like to tell you all that everybody watching this and everybody in this group is loved. You are respected and you are loved. And just to hear those words from somebody else, and for me to speak those words and to do it heartfelt, it brings me such joy and such pleasure to be able to pass on that love, and it gives me goosebumps. And I would love you to start that practice every day of just showing somebody, telling somebody that they are loved in every way. And I'm really, really pleased. Love tip 7. Thank you. Every day is a gift. Yes, every day is a gift. So what my questions? So a couple of years ago, in fact it was the 27th of February, and I was at my best friend's party, and I had decided that I was going to manifest myself the love of my life. And I can manifest a lot of things, trust me. I've manifested this house I'm in right now. Anyway, I went to the party, went to the meal, I was like, there's definitely nobody I want to go on a date with here. And then we went to this music bar, and again I thought, oh God, no. or getting the bus home early. It's not my kind of music. And then a friend walked in with this guy, and I saw him as soon as he walked in that room, and our eyes locked, and that was it. And we spoke for the rest of the night. We were side by side, and from me saying I was going to leave at 10 o'clock, I think I got home at 2 a.m. or something, maybe later. And through that experience, I remembered what love was. I remembered what falling in love was, and how it felt, and how amazing it was. And it was fast and passionate and all-encompassing, and I had all of the dreams and the aspirations, and we created this life together and this dream that was going to happen. And it didn't happen, and it fell apart, and I was very, very heartbroken, and I'll still cry about it to this day, and I'm getting all like, oh God, I'm gonna cry. But I learned so many lessons through that relationship, and I'm so grateful for it, even though it still brings me to tears. So the lessons I've learnt: lessons regarding control. You cannot control the outcome of anything. Just enjoy the moment. Enjoy and appreciate the moment. As soon as we start to control somebody else or a situation, we start clinging on tightly, and we get blinded by what we want and what we desire, and we don't see the other person's wants or desires or fears. So it ended, but stepping back and breathing and allowing the lessons to be learnt, and allowing yourself to let go of the control that we put on life and people and situations. It doesn't mean to say that they didn't love you. It doesn't mean to say that you didn't love them. It just meant that when you're on the same path with somebody, you desire to be on that path. You can't make anybody walk your path and your dream. And just because you're in a relationship, it doesn't mean to say you have to have exactly the same dreams. You are two individual people, two circles coming together to walk hand in hand, side by side together. Not two half circles coming together, trying to complete each other, because that's what happens. The lesson in communication that I learnt. Oh, let me go back to the lesson in control. Ask yourself this question: where in my life am I controlling things? Where in my life am I trying to control? And brain dump everything that you feel you're trying to control. Your diet, your weight, your business, a relationship, your children, your husband, your wife, etc. And see what flows from you, because I got so much from learning my lesson. I'm still learning my lesson on control, just getting to grips with it. So a lesson in communication. Here's your question for that. Where do I struggle to communicate with others and myself? Now, within that relationship, I didn't feel like I struggled to communicate. So although it ended, I felt like I had said everything and I had been me. Whereas recently, over the past year, I was having problems with communicating with virtual assistants and getting them to do what I want and how I wanted my business to go and what I wanted them admin wise. So the control aspect comes in, but also the communication. I was just telling them how I would like to learn, how I would like to be given a task. So when I got to step back, breathe, look at the situation and why I was having so much trouble with not just one, not just two, not just three, 4 different virtual assistants I'd gone through. And I was really stressed. I was frustrated. The problems, the errors coming up, I was like, are you stupid? What's going on? I could do better than this, and it's not, you know, I want to concentrate over here. I don't want to do the admin. That's your job. So I got to take a step back. I got to look at what I was controlling, and I got to look at how I was communicating. And when we talked through how they wanted the tasks sent to them, how they wanted communication to be given to them, we were able to formulate a plan. And since that moment, since listening to them and then conversing, communicating with both parties, listening from a place of love, we've had no problems since. We're able to work together in harmony. So that's a little bit about collaboration as well, communication, dropping the control, communicating from a place of love and collaborating. So 2 more lessons and then we are done. I hope you are loving this. So a lesson regarding instinct. Ask yourself this question: do I always trust my instinct? Do I always trust my instinct? And my answer was no. No, I don't. I remember, gosh, it must have been 15 years ago now. And I went on a date with a lovely man. I knew him from work. He was respectful, he was nice, he was honest, he had a good job, he had a nice family he talked about, etc, etc, ticking all those boxes. And I really liked him, we really got on. And the moment we first kissed, I knew he wasn't the one. But he was everything I wanted on paperwork. And I nearly married him. We were together for 3 years. We got engaged and we nearly got married. But my instinct was he wasn't the right person for me. Now, I did love him very dearly and he loved me and we had an amazing time together. But my instinct was right. We weren't a good partnership, and that spark, that chemistry part wasn't there, which I need. So trust your instinct, but also be grateful for all of the situations that you have. But your gut instinct really does, it's that self-trust in yourself, okay? It's that trust. So trust your instinct, trust yourself, trust your love. And the lesson regarding unconditional love. So all of those others really encompass it, but ask yourself this question: where do I put control or ultimatums on my love? Where do I put control or ultimatums on my love? As I've said, I believe we were born from source energy, from universal energy, from love energy. Some people call this the universe, source, God, spirit, Allah, Buddha. Whatever name you put to it, it doesn't matter. I feel it's the same energy. And it's unconditional love. It's not control, and it's not rules, and it's not regulations. It is just pure love. Now, the restrictions and demands that get put on love from others, and you put on your own love, loving yourself and loving others, filter through all of your life. They filter into your communication. They filter through into you not trusting your instinct. They filter through into your relationships. So how could you let go of those controls and those ultimatums on love? I really hope that this allows you to love yourself more, to trust yourself more, and to let go of a bit of control over yourself, your life, your business, and others. When you flow from a place of love and instinct and communicate openly and honestly, you can't go wrong. Your business will flourish and your relationships will flourish too. I think I'm going to end on that note. Remember, you are loved, you are beautiful, and you can do anything that you desire to do.